Hey everybody, it's Ed. All right, today's video, I want to continue with the FTD vinyl releases that have not been released. Now, I just did a video where I showed all my FTD vinyl releases, all 46 of them that were released from 2009 up till present day. Then I made a video where I talked about the soundtrack FTD vinyl releases that still need to be released. And then I did an update of that. And now I am continuing on where we are going to continue with the classic album collection. Now, what do I mean by classic album collection? Well, any Elvis Presley studio record that was released from 1956 all the way through to his untimely demise in 1977. Mostly studio albums is what I mean, not soundtracks. But we're going to get into live albums. Because this video, I want to focus on the 1970s releases. Everything from 1970 through 1977. So we're going to be starting with Elvis on Stage. Now, I also want to make clear that I'm not talking about any Camden releases from the 70s. And basically, what we are going to do is I'm going to go through the 1970s classic albums of Elvis Presley, and we are going to talk about whether they were or were not released on an FTD vinyl, okay? So if I have the FTD vinyl and it was released, then I'm showing it. If not, we're going to talk about the ones that still need to be released. But we are going for the 1970s, both studio and live albums. All right, so we are starting with Elvis on Stage, which was released in 1970, and yes, it does have a release by FTD, and this is called February 1970 On Stage, basically the same title, but it is the special edition, not limited, but special. Okay, it was limited. All of these are limited because they don't make them, well, once they stop the pressing, for the most part, they're not usually repressed, although they did for one of the later ones that they are re-releasing now, and we'll get to that. All right, so On Stage, yes. Then next would be That's the Way It Is. That's the Way It Is also has its special edition from FTD, and a fine special edition it is. So yeah, this is a goodie, definitely a favorite. All right, and the next release would have been Elvis Country, I'm 10,000 Years Old, and here is its FTD companion. And can't really say enough about these releases. You know that, I know that. All right, then the next album is Love Letters, and this, again, is the FTD companion. All right, but don't you worry, because the next album that was released back in 1971 was Elvis Sings the Wonderful World of Christmas. And although that has seen an FTD Classic Album CD release, it has yet to see an FTD vinyl release. So, this is an original press of Elvis Sings the Wonderful World of Christmas. This is also, actually, has just been re-released for the Christmas season. So if you go to your local record store, you may be able to find a copy of a recent pressing. All right, but no, this needs to be released by FTD. All right, wait, let me just fix something really quick. Silly, you leaving me? You ducking out? All right, next one that was released, the classic album, was Elvis Now, and here we have the FTD version of Elvis Now and Again. So again, these are double LPs, 180 gram. For the most part, they were mastered at Abbey Road Studios. I don't know if they're doing that anymore. Okay, but now and again. All right, the next up would have been Elvis, He Touched Me. And again, we have its companion. So yes, this does have an FTD release. I say FTD a lot during these videos, apparently, so. All right, then, now, this next album does not have an FTD release. And this would be the perfect opportunity for them to release not only this album, but they could do it as a 4 LP release for all I care, but do live, as recorded live at Madison Square Garden, and then the afternoon at the Garden show. Those should be an FTD release, because it does not have an FTD vinyl release. However, this is an original pressing. So there you go. All right, and then next one I'm going to show you also does not have an FTD vinyl release, and that is Aloha from Hawaii. So only within the past year or so did they come out with their own CD version of this, and Sony Legacy just repressed this and put it out, but no FTD pressing on this. All right, next studio album was, well, it was just called Elvis Presley, or Elvis rather, but it's known as the Fool album, and here is its companion by FTD, and this actually would have been the original album artwork. So where it had Fool in rather large letters, but that was ruled against. So here we have that one. All right, then next we have Elvis recorded live on stage in Memphis, and the original release, of course, had the cover with the picture of Graceland on it. This is the FTD release, where it is a double LP and it has the full concert. And wow, this sounds amazing. This is my go-to when I want to listen to this concert. So there's that. Okay, next from the Stack Sessions, the next studio album from 1973 was Elvis Raised on Rock, and here is its FTD companion. So there you go. Good stuff. All right, and then we had Good Times. Now, guess what? All the rest of the studio albums do have FTD releases. So from now on, you're only going to be seeing FTDs. So I'm not going to say it anymore. But this is the Good Times. All right, then we have the remaining Stack Sessions, Promised Land. Okay, and it even says the companion album. So there you go. Good stuff. Now, again, I'm doing these in order of classic album release, not the FTD catalog. All right, then the next studio album was Today, and this is Elvis Today, the original session mixes. So there you have that. Oh, I'm sorry about this glare with this stupid light, but got to use it. All right, and then next to the last one, we have from Elvis Presley Boulevard, Memphis, Tennessee. Now this one, you can pre-order it because they are repressing it. When it was originally released a few months ago, it came on what they call Boulevard Blue Limited Numbered Edition. And I happen to have number 1109 out of 3,500. All right, but this next batch will not be numbered, and it is going to be on black vinyl, not Boulevard Blue like this one. All right. But yeah, here you go. This is from Elvis Presley Boulevard, Memphis, Tennessee. And then last but not least, last album that was released prior to Elvis's death was Moody Blue. And here is the companion. So there you go. Now this was clear vinyl instead of blue or black, and it was also numbered. And I have number 1697, so there you have it. All right, everybody, so there are your 1970s, both FTD releases and what still needs to be released. Got to, as far as the studio albums go, it's only the Christmas album. Not going into Camden's because, like, Burning Loves and Separate Ways are included on, The Fool and Standing Room Only. So, there's really no need to go into the Camden releases as far as FTDs go, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. So next video, I'll probably cover the 60s and 50s classic album releases that still need an FTD vinyl treatment. All right, that's it. I'm going to leave it at that. If you would like, you can leave me a comment. Appreciate you watching. And as always, please be good to yourselves and be good to each other. Take care, everybody.